Chapter 4. Little Bird Part 3. The Kusatsu orphanage was uncharacteristically quiet. Nowhere was the sound of children playing and bickering, or of matrons trying to calm them, or of game rules being explained for the 10th time. After formulating a plan, it was decided for the orphanage to be evacuated under the guise of a field trip. The same was done to select buildings on the edge of town. The orphanage was the most dangerous place right now, and Sheena didn't want the kids anywhere close. A part of her wanted to go with them, but her colleagues loved the kids as much as she did, and she wanted to be here for Katori. She was more at ease when Naruto had a copy of himself go with them. Presently, Katori is sitting on the porch opposite of Naruto and Hinata. Next to them is Sheena looking worried. Another Naruto is quietly sitting cross-legged on the roof, orange markings around his eyes. Takeo is dressed in his guard uniform with his spear out. Mayor Taseki is fidgeting by the porch, despite being told to stop multiple times by Sheena. 2 more shadow clones were sent out to lookouts outside of town. Hinata instructs Katori to form a seal and taps at specific points in her body. "I can help you release a bit more chakra. Can you feel how it moves through your body when you form the seal? Each seal molds your chakra differently, and different combinations lead to different jutsu. Make another seal." Katori does as told, and Hinata releases the chakra points, where the chakra is now flowing, allowing the girl to better feel what effects it has. Most shinobi start training the basics at an early age. Your feathers aren't doing much because you don't know how to properly mold your chakra. But it should be easier to figure out now, right? An odd time for a lesson in chakra control, but it seemed to put Katori at ease. It served a double purpose of getting her mind off the people literally trying to kidnap her and also teaches her for her future as a shinobi. Katori is beaming, unable to contain her joy. "Yeah. I can feel it." So this is chakra. She forms another seal, and Hinata once again guides her through the flow of chakra. Naruto chimes in. "I told you Hinata's a good teacher. I mostly brute force it until I do it. But knowing the basics is the first step. From there on, you can train in a whole bunch of different ways to learn how to use your feathers." Katori nods. She forms the bird seal. It seems to be what makes the feathers appear. She focuses as usual, and before Hinata can intervene, one appears. Brown in color with some black at the very tip. But instead of falling as usual, this one is flying in the air. Ah. It's not falling. It's not falling. She hops to her feet in excitement, causing her to lose focus for just a moment. The feather falls limp. Katori grumbles and tries again. The new feather falls. "It's all right. You just gotta keep at it until you can do it every time. There are no shortcuts here. Only way to do it is through hard work and determination. Me and Hinata had to work a lot to get where we are, so I know you can do it too." Naruto gives a thumbs up. The mood is interrupted by whining. "How can you just sit there and play ninja while violent criminals are plotting who knows what? We need to do something about them." Sheena gives him a death glare. "And whose fault is it that violent criminals are a threat?" Taseki gulps. "We're safe for now." Porch Naruto points up. "The original me is keeping an eye for any chakra signatures that get near, and the other clones are doing the same. We'll know in advance when they come." As if on cue, rooftop Naruto flickers down. "They're here. West side. Is there any chance that's our reinforcements?" Hinata asks hopefully. "No, there's too many of them, and they have murderous intent. They're launching an all-out attack." Naruto releases his gathered natural energy. He can't be in sage mode when he does what he's about to do. Multi-shadow clones. The playground fills with smoke as hundreds of Narutos rush forward to where the enemies were spotted. Everyone looks at them slack-jawed. Katori gulps. "This is a ninja's power?" Soon enough, in the distance, a battle rages as the shadow clones engage the attacking Jashinist forces. Elemental styles destroy the buildings on the edge of town as earthen pillars rise up, fires spew and burn rooftops, dust devils fling debris. Taseki looks on in horror. Everything's being destroyed. Hinata is actively looking with her Byakugan for any enemies that come closer. Chakra spikes within her field of vision. A person appears out of nowhere, the same one that attacked them with water style. Naruto. On the right. The summoner. Just as Naruto sends a clone in his direction, Mizushi crouches among the trees near the Kusatsu orphanage. A small turtle near him disappears in a puff of smoke. He weaves hand seals and slams his palm on the ground. "I apologize, Kaitamaru, but the opponent calls for this. Ninja art summoning, Rashomon." A gigantic gate appears in the forest, crushing whatever trees were in its space. The imposing construct bears a demonic visage on its gates, large chains attached to bells that swing from under its roofing. Standing atop it, Barusa places a palm on the tiles. Uzumaki clan's ceiling, release. The gates burst open as a wave of murderous intent renders everyone in the playground. What appears to be floating water comes forth, refusing to fall and filling the air with the liquid. A monstrous being emerges. Easily the size of a tailed beast, this creature stands on its back legs, pulling itself out of the Rashomon by grabbing onto the frame. A sturdy black shell protects its back as the rest of its body is covered in leathery hide. It opens its beaked mouth and screeches, causing the water on its flattened head to bubble. Kappa. A voice echoes from within Naruto. Why? Is that thing here? Naruto, this is bad. We need to push it back now. Get them out of here, Naruto shouts to his clone. Kurama. You can tell me what this is after we beat it. Right? The fox weaves his chakra along with Naruto's, going into tailed beast mode. Naruto glows surrounded by orange chakra as it looks like his clothes have become chakra itself. Naruto charges at the creature and attacks with two large chakra claws. The giant Kappa turns its back and lunges at him, the shell blocking the claws. The impact produces a powerful shockwave that knocks Naruto back to the ground. It rakes its claw through the air, gathering water and blasting Naruto with great force. This is much greater than any water style. The masked man uses this opportunity to flicker past, aiming right for the fleeing group. Tendrils of water surround him, flowing behind him like rope. Water style, water whip. The tendrils lash out at Katori. Hinata stands between them and sends the whips back with bursts of chakra. Naruto, protect them. Hinata faces the masked man. You won't get her. Naruto's clone takes Katori's hand and begins running. Takeo, Shina, and Tasaki close behind. The Kappa isn't going to be defeated by something of this level. Push it back and close the gates. Naruto goes full Nine Tails mode and he and the Kappa try to push each other back. Naruto begins gathering chakra for a tailed beast bomb, but is interrupted by a blast of water from the Kappa's mouth. The surging water blasts Naruto back and out of his tailed beast chakra. Kurama's form dissolves as Naruto slams into the ground. But there's no time for pain. He immediately re-enters tailed beast mode and he and the Kappa begin their sumo match anew. Damn it. It's so strong. What even is this? A remnant of the past. Once I thought soundly sealed away. If our foe is able to summon it, we're not dealing with anyone ordinary. Your girlfriend is in for a fight. Hinata activates her Byakugan. You didn't run. It's not as if I could, even if I wanted to. Water whips swirl around him, ready to lash out at any point. You can escape the same way you did last time. True. However, this time, I have a concrete task to accomplish. Hinata focuses her Byakugan to look through his mask to get an idea of his identity, but her vision is blocked. There are powerful seals placed on the mask. Powerful enough to block the Byakugan. I don't suppose you'd tell us your identity and motives. Not possible, I'm afraid. I'm sure you understand. Water style, water whip. He swings his arms and sends the water whips to lash at Hinata. The Hyuga does a basic maneuver, a series of strikes every young Hyuga learns. She expels chakra from her arms to push the water whips back. She runs to him. Barusa jumps back. Water style, water wall. A screen of water just show up in front of Hinata. A jutsu used for hiding and protection, but how will it work against a Hyuga? Hiding is out of the question with that Byakugan, so maybe it can at least serve as an obstacle. Gentle fist, vacuum palm. A gust of raw chakra and air pushes past and sends the water wall flying. Water style, water fang. The water puddles caused by Hinata breaking the wall begin swirling and form drills. They jut out at her from all directions. Gentle fist, body blow. Similar to their last encounter, Hinata sends chakra out from her entire body in a shockwave of chakra. Some water is sent back, but not all. Her clothes, bits of blood dripping through. If only I could use rotating heaven. Mizushi flickers to the top of the building and Hinata follows. The two trade blows, but neither finds the opportunity to get the upper hand with something bigger. Meanwhile, the Kappa pushes Kurama back into the orphanage. A good portion is destroyed and renders the roof unstable. Both Hinata and Mizushi fall off the three-story building and see the chance to take advantage. Hinata thrusts both her hands downward with great force. Gentle fist, vacuum wall palm. A force of air larger than the vacuum wave is sent downward at Barusa. Water style, water gun. Mizushi moves his mask to the side and spits a stream of water on a much smaller scale than what the kappa used against Naruto. Unfortunately for him, it's not powerful enough to withstand the mountain crusher, and Mizushi is sent flying downward at an even greater speed. He manages to regain his composure just before reaching the ground. Water style, water dragon bullet. A liquid serpentine appears under him and goes upward. Mizushi is swallowed and sent down the water dragon's tail at a slower pace, allowing him to reach the ground safely. Hinata attaches thread to a kunai and sends it flying at what wall still remains standing. It latches on and Hinata is able to slow her descent, although it's made a bit more difficult by the rushing water dragon aiming right at her. She lets go, and the water dragon rips the thread. She lands on her feet, but the dragon is now coming down toward her. She gathers large amounts of chakra around both her hands. It bursts out like a flame. Gentle step, twin lion fist. She thrusts upward to meet the dragon's attack. The water dragon loses its form and falls apart as rain. Naruto's clone POV. Naruto's clone is leading everyone through the streets. The roars of battle can be heard even from this distance. Mayor Taseki curses. Shit, what even is that? Shina is holding onto Katori's hand for dear life. Something to run away from. The five of them are stopped in an alleyway by cloaked figures surrounding them. They each ready a kunai and prepare to attack. Naruto curses. Damn it, some of them got through. You couldn't even hold them at Bay. Taseki protests. They veer into a building, hoping to gain cover inside. The Jashinists follow suit and even overtake them by following alternate routes, jumping in through the windows. Before the shattered glass can even hit the ground, a couple engage Naruto to keep him occupied, while the others are defenseless. Takeo. Run. Takeo runs to one of the rooms with the others. The ninja follow closely. The group hides behind a table, tipping it on its side. As the ninja enter, the table is sent flying at them. They expertly jump over it and head towards the people that were behind it. The fools. Now they're all exposed. The girl, the older woman, the fat mayor. Wait, where's the guard? Light catches something behind them. From their peripheral vision, they have just enough time to see a spear tip swinging at them. The kid hadn't flung the table, he'd flung himself. The table was just along for the ride. Takeo slices one by the neck and brings the spear back to stab the other in the back. He was young and not as experienced as others, but he'd had to fight off bandits. He'd seen blood spilled. He'd hoped to never show Katori this side of him. He takes a stance as others enter and see their dead comrades. They're ready kunai. Mayor Taseki grabs some sort of wooden pillar decoration by his side, readying it as a weapon. Takeo sees this and warns him. Mayor Taseki, don't do anything rash. Leave them to me. As he turns his attention to the cultists, something strikes his head and he falls to the ground dazed. Taseki stands over him with the wooden pillar, breathing heavily. Taseki, what do you think you're doing? Shina shouts. Shut up. He throws the pillar at Shina, causing her to reel back to protect herself. The pillar smacks her hard and she stumbles. Taseki rushes to grab Katori by the arm, dragging her to the cultists. You just want this brat, right? Take her. Do whatever. Just please don't destroy the town. Taseki pleads. No. Let go. Katori tries to struggle free to no avail. The Jashinists take Katori and flicker away. Katori. Shina shouts and tries to run out after them. Taseki grabs her by the throat and pushes her to the ground with all his weight. This is all your fault. Because of one dumb kid, they're now destroying everything. He squeezes her tiger as she struggles under him, unable to catch her breath. You ruined everything. A sharp pain strikes Taseki's side. He coughs blood. He looks to the side to see a half-crouching Takeo holding the spear, pure anger on his face. He follows the spear's shaft right to his body, where it had stabbed him. Takeo thrusts forward, pushing him off Shina. After a few moments, he stops moving. Takeo lets go of his spear with shaky hands. Miss Shina, she stands up and embraces him tightly. Naruto POV. In a sumo match against a kappa, Naruto looks back to where his clone's last moments were before being separated from Katori and the others. The lapse in focus gives the kappa an edge over him. Focus, Naruto. I know, damn it. But Takeo isn't the one facing the kappa right now. Let's finish this quick. Naruto sends out all 9 of his tails to latch onto the kappa. Two tails grab onto each of its arms, two wrap around its legs, while the remaining three around its head trying to get it to look up so it can't shoot any more water. Its movements should be stopped. He just needs to hold on for a bit while he gathers chakra. A black ball forms at Kurama's mouth, bubbles of all colors materializing from the air and gather with the ball, making it larger. The kappa struggles but can't break free. It can't use its black shell to block. Sufficient in size, the chakra ball fires. Tailed beast bomb. It blasts the creature right in the stomach just as he releases the grip of his tails. It's flung backward, which allows Naruto to push it through the door. The kappa's fall is stopped by the strange water that exists within the gates. It tries to swim back, but all 9 tails slam it in the torso and push it even further back. Before it can regain its balance and swim back, Naruto closes the gates and the Rashomon gate disappears. Barusa clicks his tongue. It would appear we require more strength. Once again, he moves his mask to the side and spits out water. Water style, exploding water colliding wave. This time it's a massive amount of water. A lesser tsunami forms and is sent directly to Hinata, who has no choice but to flicker back to try and avoid it. Barusa uses this opportunity to smear blood on his palm. But he said he has a task to accomplish. Does that mean, oh no, ninja art reverse summoning? And with that, he disappears. Without missing a beat, Hinata immediately rushes to Naruto. Naruto. They have Katori. She looks incredibly worried. Naruto flickers beside her, his Kurama shape gone, but still with his shroud, and wraps an arm around her waist. Let's go. While he still has his shroud, he can be there swiftly. Knowing which building it is from his clone's memories, they both arrive to see Shina and Takeo shaken up, a dead Taseki, and no Katori. They're quickly brought up to speed. Naruto focuses for a moment. He opens his eyes. I know where they're going. Let's go. End of chapter 4.